Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dakota and welcome to the Stanley Parable. So I've never played the original, but I've seen some gameplay on it, and this is something, and the original was something I wanted to play as well, but I never got around to it, so I figured today we're going to play the actual, the remaster, new game, whatever you want to call this. I did put out a poll for this, and it was mainly positive, so thank you all, and we're going to jump into it. So have I played it before? No. Please adjust the slider until the computer's barely visible, which technically for me would be about right there. And the current time, oh boy, what is it? It is actually about to hit 10 o'clock a.m. Oh, okay. Accessibility settings can be accessed from the main menu. Beautiful, beautiful. But yeah, I've never played it. Never played it. I'm looking forward to playing it. And if you like what you see, hit the like button. You want to see more, subscribe. You want to support us, just welcome to the channel. All you that came to the Mark stream, I appreciate it. I figured what better way to kick it off in this game. Yes, the classic sound of an office. I've only ever actually been into a big corporate office once, and it was so weird. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Yeah, that sounds about right.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Stanley, okay.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427, and he pushed buttons on it.
Oh, your office is so bare, buddy.
Came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in
that sounds like an easy job.
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Pay rate better be good.
Others might have considered it soul-rending. Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
He's got a pretty nice sized area.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Ooh.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting,
holiday,
or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
Oh no, did we lose the funding?
Frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
It sounds like corporate lost funding, so we best pack up and get out of here before the bank shows up to claim their stuff. Wow, this is so smooth. Dude, this place is so smooth. I love it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I hate Mondays. Me too.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Hey. Oh, man. Number one dad, I just got this dude fired. He's not gonna be able to pay for his kids' meals. What have I done? I like work. I just hate my boss. Oh, it's so empty. Those doors are open over there, too. Am I going this way? Anything? Oh, if I did... We got like a keyboard sound. It's pretty cool. Hello? What is that? Sales in this quarter? Ah, business stuff.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
All right. Hey, what narrator says goes, that it's just the rules, it's just how life is. Man, we got some bright, it's bright outside.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager?
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay. I gotcha. So, today, the sale margins are down, I think probably because nobody's here working today, so stats are, of course, going to be down. And, bada bing, bada boom, big fancy words. That's how you do it.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. I can do that. Ooh, look at this. Potty break. Potty break. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. If that's a song, I don't get it. Ah, yes. What a beautiful bathroom. Look at this. I love this office style. That whole, whatever you want to call it, Victorian. It's beautiful. Hello? I'm here to see the boss.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
Maybe.
What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
That's kind of spooky. You just gotta... Oh my god, that's a big door. Whoa. Okay. Got some secrets going on. Oh, it's just dark in here. Am I pressing this? Okay. I'm learning something. How are you doing? Are you having a good day? That's good. So this is interesting. If you want to play this game, I'll leave a link to it down below.
Descending deeper into the building,
I'm really fascinated with the quality.
Felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Can I go back up? We're gonna assume that I can't go back up. That scared me.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yeah. It seems doable. I think this is totally what I'm supposed to do.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
To find out that we lost marketing? Man, you know, there's another place over there. Ooh.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building.
104 got fired.
The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Oh, that's crazy. Wow. They really like to keep an eye on their employees here. What's this?
This mind control
I'm just...
facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
It's crazy.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control?
Oh, I'm so sorry if my mic was pitching.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Maybe? Perhaps?
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control?
Oh, I can't jump.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Whoa.
That was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Alright, so I'm assuming I'm going to a facility. Very spooky area, isn't it? That reminds me of something of Resident Evil. Portal, actually. Honestly, very much Portal. Mind controls idle, awaiting input. Never on Earth. I'll do as the narrator says. What happened?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Yeah, you know, now that you say that, narrator.
Gone. How had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
Got a lot of questions.
What mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness.
I kind of like that. That little meaning.
No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
I'm free.
That was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Alright, well, I'm free.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his
I'm finally
skin.
free.
The feeling
I'm not stuck
of
in that office
liberation,
anymore.
The immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Wait, was that one of the endings? Wait, how many endings does this have? Put your answer in the comments. How many endings does this have? The end is never the end is never the end. I'm assuming that's just something relevant. Yeah, here we go. I was compliant the whole first time. Am I back at the beginning now? Can I go back to work? No.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Perhaps I did miss a memo. We're back here again. I'm curious.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
I did
Perhaps
know.
He wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Maybe I did.
Yes,
It's,
truly a room
interesting.
worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
Is that blood?
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Nah, there's not much to see.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, so am I eager to get back to work? Maybe not. Maybe. Maybe. Nah,
Stanley
this is
was
pretty
so
cool.
bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ooh, that's a drop. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift 1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift 5,000. I see there's a path right. I'm assuming this takes us down, maybe? What happens if I just jump? Oh, that was an
But
accident.
in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
That was an accident. Okay, so we're back here
All of
again.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Yes.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The meeting room, you know, wink, wink. I assume I'm going here.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be
Could I jump
difficult,
onto that?
but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
You can keep talking.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you.
It's
to
okay.
Show you something beautiful. Look,
It's
let me
it's
prove
okay,
it.
narrator.
Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
It's all right, narrator. I mean, I think I know what I'm doing, maybe. But I'm exploring. You know, no one's in the office. There's no security here to stop me. Don't stand on this side of the fence. Right. Okay.
Now
so
listen carefully. This is important.
Ooh.
Stanley walked through the red door.
The red door. If I follow the direction, it's just going to take me right back to the main, you think?
Oh, thank God, you are
We'll see
willing
what
to
happens.
listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Oh, I'm scared. Oh, I'm scared. What if I just...
What do we want?
What do we want?
Looking for?
Good question, narrator.
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
Do you?
I actually feel happy. No,
whoa.
Wait. Where are you going?
It's all drawn, like, ooh.
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Okay, narrator. I don't want to stay in that beautiful
Please,
place,
no,
though.
Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Oh, it actually wants me to just end it? Alright, we're going full neglect.
Oh, thank God you lived. You had me
Yeah.
worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room? No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Oh, now I feel bad for the narrator.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God. Is this really how much you dislike my game?
It's not that I
That you'll
dislike
throw
it.
yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it?
Narrator,
You're
it's...
literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
You are not.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know
I
anymore.
kind of am, honestly, at this
I just
point.
wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask.
Well, I thought we were getting along
Looks
pretty
like
nice.
You wanted to
Stanley,
make a
or
choice after all.
narrator.
Well, this one is yours.
Yeah, narrator, it's nothing personal, it's just business. I can't keep the audience in this room for too long. You know this. Retention is hard to keep nowadays.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Is it really throwing us into a restart? It is. That is beautiful. All the different paths and stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Meeting room. Blah, blah, blah.
To show you something beautiful.
Narrator, it's okay.
Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, I went through the blue door.
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No thanks, I've already been there.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through
Narrator?
the red... All right, fine,
No,
go ahead, Stanley.
something's not right.
You want to know so badly what's out there?
I do.
You wanna find
I really
out
do.
What lies at the end of this road you've
Yes.
chosen? Well, don't let me
100%.
stop you. You see? There's nothing here.
It's empty.
I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place.
Oh.
Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted?
Kind of.
Was
I'm
it
known
worth
for breaking
ruining
games.
The entire story I had written out specifically for you.
Maybe?
You don't think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did.
Oh, I know
And
you
in
did,
the end,
narrator.
It was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would
Okay.
have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so
I like
far.
that little bash on modern
Tell you
games.
what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you
This
can give
better
me
get
some
game of the year.
feedback.
Okay.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
He wants me to go through that door, though. He wants me to. Oh, it's just going to take me here anyways.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version.
Well,
Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Not realistic. Well, is 5 the most or 1 the most? 1 like, hey, it's number 1, or like 1 like, oh, it's narrator. I'll give you that. It's not bad. I'm not bashing on you. I genuinely think it's a good game. I like having the choice to leave and, you know, just make my own path. Mr. Narrator.
Aha! You see, I knew I was
I'll give you a
something.
5.
Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Narrator, what is this? A leaderboard? Good old Neil Skid. Oh my god, look at all the doors open. Is that a legit number? Is that real? Are these real? Oh. Okay. Well, we're back here. Oh,
now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect.
No.
Let me boot it up.
Okay. I gotta say, I love this so
baby
far.
crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Do you think you get an achievement for going 4 hours in this?
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
It was out of spite, narrator.
Well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done.
Okay.
It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here?
What do we have, narrator?
Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Alright, well, I guess we're moving on to something different, so... Hey, like, subscribe. You know why I have you here, you know. So what's this game gonna be?
Aha!
I just got done playing this game not long ago.
What about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it.
It did really good about replicating this.
Of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more.
Delilah.
Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Alright, that's Delilah's tower over there. Yeah, I did a full playthrough on this game, it was like a few months ago. Oh, is that it? That was it. There's no more music. I love that, though. Oh, it's so pretty. This is one of my favorite games, I think. Like, I really enjoyed playing Firewatch. And this is, like, almost spot on. Should be a sign over that way, too, that you can pick up.
No, it can't be.
Yeah, there should be a sign, like, right over by,
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly, block it off.
I want to see the sign.
Oh.
Narrator.
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it.
Narrator, I wanted to see what was up.
Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable...
I didn't realize the camera stopped recording, I'm sorry.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Alright, narrator, I'm trusting your judgment here.
Wonderful.
Rocket
See, this
League.
is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Okay. So
what exactly do we do here?
we typically
There are
drive
lots
the
of cars
ball.
here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Surely we must. Okay,
Narrator.
Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
I know some people that are really big on this game. Can I? Oh, I can sprint. Oh, that's so nice. Alright, well, let's hit it in.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
A little
Stanley,
bit.
I have a thought, and I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience.
Multiple?
I'm going to
I
try
mean,
it
maybe.
out. Here comes
There we
another
go.
ball. Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable.
If I jump...
More balls!
I'm jumping.
Hold on. What are you doing?
What am I doing, narrator? Whoa, this is just like Portal.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Narrator? Oh, I fell. Was that supposed to happen? Am I in the back rooms now? Oh wait, we're kind of going back to my office, I think. Is this what the original Stanley Parable looked like? I've never played it, so that's why I'm curious. I'm not sure where I'm supposed to go.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion.
You're right.
That's
You're
who
right.
I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way.
Okay.
Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
Narrator, you alright? You okay, narrator? What happened? Was that... Oh, I'm back. Alright, so... I guess there's...
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
It is different. Okay. Hate Mondays, I know. It's changed.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
It's a trick, isn't it?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Am I just gonna go back through a loop on this?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
It is quite incredible, actually.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley.
Who?
Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who? Who's been waiting, narrator? Because I'm getting some heavy vibes from the movie Lights Out.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Okay, I'll pick it up. Whoa. I have questions.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
I'm genuinely scared. Do I want to go through or just walk away, narrator? Because you just messed with Stanley.
Sorry, but you're in my story now. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Good morning, employee. Press N on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Oh, that's K.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown.
I don't want to look away from you.
Fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth.
They have.
The thought excited him terribly.
Press Z to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Prepare dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. and down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions, and down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Oh. Tell your kids a story?
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be?
Maybe.
Perhaps if he played just one more time.
We can. Tell your wife you love her.
But there is no answer.
Okay,
How
thank
could
you.
there
Thank you for being gone.
In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Whoa.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Whoa, that's so interesting. Question nothing.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must.
All right, narrator. I trust you.
Maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time.
To an extent.
And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
What? There isn't even narration at this point. What?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Is this like a trick question at this point? You know what I'm trying to say? Maybe I should.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and coming to a staircase. Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
There's a downstairs. Ooh, it's spooky.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all.
Maybe I am.
None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh my God.
Doors close automatically behind him wherever he went. And
I wasn't paying attention to it now.
These rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief.
It's a simulation.
Felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
I was just asleep.
He thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. I'm sorry, I'm very fascinated. Lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
You're right. You're
Now
taking
the
narrating
voice was
from me.
describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd,
He's getting
and
smart.
wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams,
Getting free
the truth
will.
was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
It is quite a
After
shock,
all,
honestly.
He knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too, surely,
My God.
if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back,
This is crazy.
the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal.
Everything will be
Everything
fine.
will be fine. I am okay.
That is so interesting. The route that they're taking with this. Oh, what?
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just
Oh, it's
someone
red.
tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh my God, this is so in depth. Was the original?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh, was the original like this?
Mariella
Because I've
woke
never
up on
played
a
it.
day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life.
Call an
She had
ambulance?
no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Miriam? Miriam? I missed the name. Was it Miriam? I think it was Miriam. Wow. We're back. This is wild.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All right, am I just going through a loop at this point? Eh. Oh, wait, was I just playing the original,
Oh,
maybe?
New content? What does that mean, new content?
What does it mean? Narrator? What is going on?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know,
A different
Stanley
narrator.
Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
You sound familiar.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Okay.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
I'm sure. It's not moving, though, narrator.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Me too. So, did I just play through the original Stanley Parable? That is such a big question I have.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious.
It's
as if
interesting.
Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the
Jump
jump
circle?
circle?
What if I jump out of it? Jumping, cool. I'm gonna keep 22, you know?
Is that it? Surely that's not
That's what it
all
feels
the
like.
content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness.
I mean, there would have
Another
to be, right?
elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's
They're not
just
bad.
elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is
you're
new
right.
content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more.
Oh.
Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
What's it say? Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley.
I love their
I built up
call-outs.
too much
That's amazing.
anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
I guess I'm okay with that. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm okay with it. This. Narrator, I think we got the wrong one. That doesn't look right. Narrator?
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
What, narrator? Narrator! I would love to have one of them coffee mugs. Narrator, are you in here? What, is there something wrong? Wonder what would happen if we just would have continued going.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Elden Ring?
I call it
The memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013,
Don't forget the Stanley
when the game
Parable.
originally launched. Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Oh, wow. Wait a minute. The British Academy of Film and Television Arts awarded to The Last of Us. Wow. The original remake. Oh, wait, so the original was a remake? Okay. I didn't know that. Oh, a disc? See, I never got to experience the original one. I mean, aside from watching videos, I mean, 2013, I would have been only 13. Wow, and I think I spent a lot of time just watching, I mean, obviously being a kid, but also YouTube itself. Watched a lot of YouTube growing up on Mark and Jack. Here I am now, pretty much wanting to do exactly what they're doing. So here I am.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing.
I don't think it's
No
nothing.
games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's
I
just
think it
a
is, narrator.
husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
It's alright, narrator, sorry, keep calling you Stanley. I'm Stanley. Person of the year, it's me, and the buttons. Oh, wow. This is so cool.
Here's
I thought those
another
were
movie
stairs.
passage, this time from GameSpot.com.
Ah, yes.
The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Oh my god, these are all sources that they used to make them. Wow.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
I feel that way
Wait.
sometimes.
Hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Steam?
Oh, no. Oh, God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews
Oh,
from
I get it.
Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't
Yeah.
looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean... Steam reviews are Steam reviews, let's be honest.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny,
I
with
think
his
he's...
humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining.
I think he's funny.
Funny? I'm not trying to be funny.
Camera keeps going out.
I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Got the negative reviews, man. It's normal, everybody gets them. I get them on the channel all the time.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
Oh, no, no,
You tell
no.
me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
No, you're fine.
This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't
I think
know
it's
how
good.
much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it, well, I always thought it did. But
Yeah, it's a good
maybe it
review right
wasn't.
there.
Oh dear.
In there.
What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down.
Narrator,
Perhaps the
no.
Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
No, narrator.
What's this one got to say?
Everything's all good.
You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
A skip button?
A skip button.
That's what I just said.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt.
No, I don't think it
Not
would
if
hurt
means we
anything.
can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you with just the push of a button, Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
Wow.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
12
You've
hours?
just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my
How long has it been,
goodness.
narrator?
I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Oh,
Narrator?
hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us.
Narrator? Is he gone? Ooh, that's ear piercing.
But they didn't understand the game was
Narrator.
never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they
Narrator? We got a water leak somewhere. I just heard a drip.
The end is
Guys?
never the end, is 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 never.
Oh wow, we're getting quite a bit of water damage, aren't we? Yeah. How many times can I press this thing? Oh. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that a lot. What? Sunlight. Narrator? Oh my god, I'm breaking everything. Oh, all overgrown like that? That is beautiful. It is, that's gorgeous. What happened to all the overgrown? Press the button. press the button. Narrator? Narrator? Oh my god. Oh boy. How long has it been? Let's see, went from 24 hours to 2 weeks. This had to have been a couple hundred years, right? The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Narrator?
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Don't you do that. Don't you do that to me.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Don't you do that, narrator. Don't you say there's someone over my shoulder, because I am not good with that. I'm not a horror person, you see. Narrator?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy.
This has been really good.
This ultra deluxe nonsense, I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, I like that so much.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully
It is
fledged
nice.
sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
I love it. Stanley Parable 2. Okay,
Now, to
going
be
here.
clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Okay. God, I want to just take in the scenery. It's so beautiful. Oh, look at this. Big old open area like that.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Exclusive. A button that says the name of the player that is playing. Okay.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should
Jim?
have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, Forget whoever you are and simply become a person named Jim.
I am now
I
Jim.
want
Stellar
you to
Jim. How you
imagine
doing?
yourself living as Jim. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now,
Jim.
allow yourself to become Jim. All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says
I like
Jim.
the Jim
You
button.
happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
I love the route that they took with this game, especially when it comes to all the choices.
Maybe I'll only
sorry,
let
I'm
people
stuffy.
named Jim play the Stanley Parable too. They would appreciate what I've created here.
A button that says name of every player. Okay. Reassurance bucket. Okay. Infinite hole. It won't end. I want to see the infinite hole. No screenshots. Okay, I got to figure out what's in here.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Get well someday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy
That scared
12th
me.
birthday, step-niece, it is.
That scared me.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Okay. We got a merch store going on, it looks like. Nothing there, isn't it? I already went to the gym. All right, well, I guess we're going to the infinite hole. I'm not interested in the jump circle, but the hole specifically. Might as well do that next. There's so much to this game. It's phenomenal. And if you're still with me in the video, thank you very much. And I hope you're enjoying it. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm always trying to improve
Stanley,
my content.
Here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like.
I think Portal did that.
Forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful?
Wait, was
One
it
of
really
my
infinite?
more genius concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? All right, I guess we're going back out this way. What else is there that we need to cover? See, I have my achievements turned off, like notifications, because I don't really care to have them on screen. And maybe I should turn them on. Maybe pull the lever, receive your new achievement, no more steps.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well,
Yeah.
I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
All right. Have a nice day, I guess.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
You haven't seen the jump circle, but we've already seen the jumps. I got 20. Oh, I still have 22 remaining.
You
Okay,
know what,
well,
Stanley? I actually think the jump circle was a pretty good idea. I'd like to hang on to
helps
that.
get it out of your system. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Nope, I used up my jumps. That's it, Stan. Narrator. Sorry. That's new. Hey, is that me? I think that's me. Whoa.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
1 of 6. That's hilarious that they have that menu like that. Oh, thank you for not putting me back in there. That was actually kind of scary.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and
Ah,
then
the
they give
exit,
you a
yes.
big fancy reward for Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you
It really
think?
is. It really is.
Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But
I don't know.
Oh, goodness, Stanley, this is fairly awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to the bucket exhibit. You see, there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it
Bucket
involves
exhibit?
the bucket. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go
Okay.
see the bucket, okay?
All right.
All right, I'll get out of your hair now.
I'll go see it, Stanley. Where is it? Or why am I calling you Stanley? Narrator. Keep calling you Stanley. I'm Stanley. You're saying Stanley. I'm getting confused because I'm supposed to be the narrator for you lovely people. And now I'm just all over
A
the
common
place.
complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game.
Okay.
It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart.
Really?
It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the
Can I
gentle
hold the bucket
embrace
right
of
now?
jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to
Can
be
I hold it right
honest,
now?
it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution.
Is it?
Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Thank you.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they?
Yeah.
All this and more.
Yeah, I feel it.
await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Thank you, narrator. I'm taking this bucket with me now. I hope that's okay.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
No, I don't think
That
they
really
do.
should be an award if it isn't already.
We got everything. I'm taking it with me, though. Comfort bucket. You know, I feel so much more confident, too, holding this thing. I'm confident that you're going to subscribe. You right there. I know you did, but you over there. Yeah. I know you're going to. You know, you're going to get on every device, you know, you're going to tell all your friends, you know, hey, this guy's pretty neat, subscribe. You know, we're almost to 2,000 subscribers. You can say that once we hit a milestone much larger, if we do. I mean, I never thought I was going to hit this much, but, you know, here we are now.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's
Yeah.
not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as
What
one
is this?
single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's
There
do an
is.
experiment.
All right,
I'll
what's up?
arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
All right, narrator.
Are you ready?
What do you have for me?
Here
Yeah.
it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
It's amazing.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind.
Bucket
Hold on.
collectible
Let me do
button,
a different arrangement.
jump circle.
Okay, yes, this is much better.
All right.
I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Narrator.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own.
Okay.
They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well,
That's me.
insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course.
That's
with
me.
respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction,
Yeah.
This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
I'm looking. Oh, wait, it's put me into it? Whoa. Begin the game. I love it.
This is the story of a man
Named Stanley.
Stanley worked for a company.
There's balloons this time.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
Where's the bucket? Where's the bucket? Did I miss a bucket? Oh, there's a bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
I love it. The new version is just, it's beautiful. Narrator, you've outdone yourself.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I will happily do it. This game is just amazing now, narrator.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
It's possible,
Coming
yes.
to the staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
There's still no one here.
Into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire.
Wait, that wasn't
if
it?
not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
2845. Okay, I got that mixed up.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
The bucket is guiding me. Another collectible!
One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
I'll definitely savor it. Alright. Let's go. The new version is absolutely amazing. If you guys want to play this, just a reminder, there's a link down below to it. So, I am blown away.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards
I'm curious
an
how
unknown
different.
fate.
The narration's very different.
Could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
Actually, was I supposed to
Soothing
stop right
him,
there?
Comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
I got comfort bucket, so it should be fine.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
You know what? We actually never went this way.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death.
I love that the bucket is actually, like, a key part of this. Maybe it is an actual violent death. Maybe. The bucket saved me. The bucket is my savior.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise,
hey, do we have jumping
Stanley
yet?
reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be.
To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Will the bucket save me?
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
Oh, I'm free. The Stanley Parable.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Wow. They give a whole scenario for the bucket right here. The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. Wow.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Orataka, yeah, the original bucket, yeah.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket, wow.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you
Okay.
and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements. If
where's
only
my
we
narrator?
let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision for...
I couldn't avoid that. I was not able to avoid that. We're back.
All of his co-workers were gone. What?
I can tell you what, my camera stopped recording again. Fun fact, that's how you line audio. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. It's like doing it every 30 minutes.
Tightly to his this was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Maybe.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind.
We're gonna go through
bucket
the
was
end
wrong.
scenario completely with the bucket,
Stanley
and I
took the
think we'll
door on
just
his
call
left
it there.
to go back to the meeting room.
Because I don't know how long this actually goes on for.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Okay.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
There's so many different things. If you guys want to explore
No,
this
stop.
game,
Look there on the wall, you see? There's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket
I didn't
here?
notice that.
Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which,
That makes
if that's
sense.
true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
I don't really have much of another choice. Am I gonna learn what buckets are?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or
Oh
not
my
the thing
God.
I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
This is a bucket.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not
How
an
am I supposed to
actual
know,
bucket.
narrator? I got Pez.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
No.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
Are you serious? Narrator. You're messing with me now.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just
Not
move
my fault.
on to the next one.
Not my fault. Entirely.
Is this a bucket?
No.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
Alright, narrator, you're purposely giving me every wrong choice now. Like, what is this?
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Yes?
Trick question. Both. Gotcha. Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere.
Someone forgot to put it on the conveyor belt. Not my fault.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here.
There's a bucket right
and
there.
I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in
You're
your
right.
twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Praise the bucket.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry.
Life
I'm
is
going
bucket.
to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
But I wanted the bucket.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket.
I wasn't wrong.
My
Bucket is
God,
life.
I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either.
I'm not a bucket.
Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not
I'm not a
buckets.
bucket.
Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue.
I'm choking
but it
on a
doesn't change
Pez.
the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll
Okay.
put back all of the buckets, okay? And
That's
we'll
fine.
know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
The end is never the end is never the end. I love it. And we're back here again.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Are we
What
just
could
gonna
it
loop it?
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So I didn't pick up the bucket that time. I think that we quite literally are at the end of the game. I really don't know.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct
There's
way to
one
the
more
meeting
path.
room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
I had to
Perhaps
think
he
about
wanted
it.
to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
There's
The
one path
lounge
that we
was
didn't
grand,
take.
Majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business,
This
Stanley
one.
took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door,
and got back on track.
You're telling me that there's multiple? That takes you to the one room. I see that. I want to find out. I'm going to find out. I promise this is the last one I'm doing because I'm not doing a completion run. I just wanted to enjoy the game, and I very much have.
Wander about and get even further off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go
There's so many different choices.
It's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right. My mistake.
My bad. You know, I should have known myself.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
Are we lost?
It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down, right, left, down, left, right.
Down, up, down, left, right, left, right,
Okay,
BA, select,
okay,
start.
yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
All right.
No!
Oh.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Stanley Parable. There's no balloons this time.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
This has been
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This has been the Stanley Parable, Deluxe Edition.
When Stanley...
I think...
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
I gotta look up how long it actually takes to beat this game, because now I'm confused. So apparently, you can do a full completion run on 8 hours, or all playstyles 4 hours. Main and extras is 4 hours. That is crazy how many choices there
I'll
are.
say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
I am, like, blown away at the amount of detail that went behind this game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm waiting on this door to open. So many different choices.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay. I can agree with that.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind.
No, that's
the
not right.
story. Okay,
No,
let's
I think
head
we're
back
lost.
the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story?
I think we're still under
don't think
construction
so.
here.
I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
Yeah, it did.
Do you remember, Stanley?
Yeah,
Well, do you
yeah.
know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put
won!
in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh, no.
It doesn't feel right, does it?
I don't feel right about this at all.
No.
We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay?
I'd like
I'm
to think that I
getting
did.
weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
The Stanley Parable adventure line.
I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Very simple. This is the last thing we're
See,
doing.
The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there?
You
Or to
are
put it another
correct.
way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
I'm not sure where you're
You know
going with
what?
this right now.
I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
It's so loud.
The music.
I was going to say,
Go
that
back
is so
and look at
loud.
that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Understood.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Oh, no.
Right
not
back here
Line,
again.
How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through...
Hey, what's up with that one?
Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
It's just beautiful. It's the line again. However, it's going a different direction, I think.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
All right, narrator. We'll do it. I'll give the audience
Now,
some more content.
yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Mario.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story.
Yeah,
No
line's
lines
kinda
or
taken
monitor
over.
rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Just ignore them, it'll go away, that type of deal.
Ah, a
Whoa.
choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control.
Okay.
How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that
Okay.
in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And
Maybe.
since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory
Okay.
for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
The confusion ending.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
Wow.
That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing. Wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean... did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
Did I break the game?
Whatever it is that made this schedule. How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree?
In a
I'm not
way.
quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually.
You're very correct
Well,
there,
in the meantime,
narrator.
if you...
That scared me. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the sequel's now paused. I like that it says that. I'm gonna leave this video off here. If you like what you see, hit the like button. See more, definitely do subscribe. Thank you guys for sticking around, and if you made it this far in a video, congratulations. This is gonna be one mega episode, but if you want me to play more of this, I definitely will. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If there's any way you think I can improve the content, whether it comes to recording it or editing it in any way possible, you think it could be better, just yeah. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We're trying to improve this the best we can, and I guess become the best we can be. But other than that, if you like what you see, hit the like button. You want to see more, definitely subscribe. Other than that, you'll enjoy this your day, night, whoever it may be. Other than that, it's that time of the day. We're going to cue the outro.